In this lesson, we're going to go over expressions. I tried to find the closest looking emoji I could for the top, but math expressions are a little bit different than our emojis. In this lesson, we'll understand mathematical expressions and we'll learn to simplify expressions. So first, what are expressions? They're usually numbers or a certain amount of variables added, subtracted, multiplied, or divided. Think of expressions as a bunch of math stuff. What we're going to do in this lesson is take a given expression and simplify it or get it as small as possible to where there are no other like terms in our final answer. So in order to simplify expressions, first get rid of all the parentheses, which usually involves distributing. Combine like terms. So just a quick review on like terms. So like terms have to have the same variable with the same exponent. So for instance, some like terms would be -8, 10, and 11. Those are all whole numbers without a variable. Okay, 2r and 3r, those are like terms because they both have r. They're both being multiplied by r. Or 2 of something and another 3 of something. You could add those together and combine them. 8x, -10x, and x. So these sets denoted by the semicolon, these are examples of like terms. Things that are not like terms would be something like 4x and 3x squared. Even though they both have an x, one of them has an x squared or a different exponent. Okay, in this first one, this would be like x to the power 1. That's x to the power 2, not like terms. After the semicolon, we have 3q and -5p, different variables entirely, so not like terms. Okay, and then after 8 and 3a, again, not like terms. 8 would have to have an a, or the 3 would not have an a in order for those to be like terms. And for these examples here, our answer is going to be an expression. So we're just simplifying or getting it as small as possible. So let's take a look. Simplify the following expressions, or you might see the instructions as simplify the expression and combine like terms. So the first thing is to get rid of any parentheses, which in part A, we don't have any. Okay, so next what we do is we combine our like terms. So our like terms here would be 3x and -5x. So I'm going to write this as 3x minus 5x. Okay, you can rewrite these as long as you keep the sign the same. The sign, there's a negative sign in front of 5x, so when I rewrote it, I kept the negative. Okay, we also have +9 and +8. So all I'm doing here is writing them together. Okay, and now we can simplify. 3x minus 5x, okay, or think of it as $3 minus $5. You would be -2 or $2 in debt. And then 9 plus 8 is +17. Okay, so this is -2x plus 17, or you could write it as 17 minus 2x or 17 plus -2x, as long as your signs are the same. The 2x has to be negative and the 17 has to be positive. Looking at part B, we do have parentheses. When there is just a minus in front of the parentheses, you can think of it as a -1. Okay, so we distribute. Okay, we can't combine 2 plus x. Those are not like terms, so we're left with distributing. So it would be 7, and then this is -1 times 2, so that's a -2. -1 times x is -x or -1x. You don't have to put the 1 in front of the x. Okay, so our like terms, we have 7 and -2. So this is 5 minus x. Or you could write it as -x plus 5. Again, the negative is with the x, and the 5 would be positive. Okay. Let's continue on with some examples. So part C, 4y squared minus 3y cubed plus 8y squared plus 7y cubed. Okay, for the terms to be like, you need the same variable and the same exponent. So y is the variable we're looking at. There's just 4 of them here and 8 of them here. So this would be 12y squared. Next, we'd have -3y cubed plus 7y squared. So this is 4y cubed. Okay, and again, you can write it in a different order. Okay, and it's as small as possible when the terms that you have left, there's no like terms. So for instance, looking at our previous -2x and 17, there's no more like terms here, so that's as small as it's going to get. Same thing with the 5 minus x, and same for the example that we just did. We can't combine these. Okay, this is like 12 apples plus 4 oranges. Okay, they don't add together. Example D, we have lots of parentheses in distribution. So this is -2 times 3x, which is -6x. -2 times -1 is +2. Okay, and then we have 4 times -x, which is -4x, and 4 times 6, which is 24. So now that we've gotten everything out of the parentheses, we're able to combine our like terms. -6x and -4x. You were $6 in debt. Somebody demanded $4 from you. This is -10. I do use a lot of money examples. That usually helps us to think about what way we're going. You could also use a number line when you're talking about adding and subtracting. Okay. And then 2 and 24, this is 26. Okay, so that's as small as it's going to get because negative 10x and 26 are not like terms, so nothing can be added together to make this smaller. Okay. Last example, write the following as an algebraic expression, simplify it if possible. So these problems usually have something in front that'll tell you what to do. So in this case, we're adding 3y plus 2 to 2y minus 1. So if we translate this, this is 3y plus 2 plus 2y minus 1. Okay, let's go back. Or actually, if I did 3 plus 10, you could think of this as 3 being added to 10. Okay, so that's how we're able to do this even with expressions. And then we combine our like terms. 3y and 2y is 5y. And then 2 minus 1 is just a positive 1. So the final answer there is 5y plus 1. Thank you for watching. Be sure to reach out to me if you have any questions.